Tonight, the opioid crisis.
We do know that changes in the toxicity of the drug supply can lead to increased risk for users.
And the renewed concerns.
We are seeing an increase in medetomidine, which is a veterinary tranquilizer.
Over the illicit drug supply in Waterloo Region. Also, pushback against a plaza proposal.
This is where some of our most happiest moments are. We don't want that to go away.
Community concerns over a development.
We're going to do it in phases. We would see how it goes.
The plans for Krug Street in Kitchener and how two sides hope to find common ground. And the 2026 NHL Draft takes the stage in Buffalo.
It's a very special day for our organization. Be the second year in a row that we are hopefully going to have a top 10 NHL pick.
The local athletes hoping to hear their names called.
It's been an honor to be selected by any team in the draft.
And how it could change their lives forever.
Good evening. We begin tonight with renewed concerns over the illicit drug supply in Waterloo Region, where paramedics have responded to nearly twice as many opioid-related calls as they did by this time last year. With more on what's fueling the surge, here's CTV's Spencer Turcott.
The opioid crisis is showing no signs of slowing down in Waterloo Region. During the first half of 2025, paramedics responded to 438 opioid-related calls. Public health data shows that number nearly doubled over the same period this year, with 825 opioid-related calls.
While it's not usually possible to pinpoint the exact reasons behind the increase in overdoses, we do know that changes in the toxicity of the drug supply can lead to increased risk for users.
Officials say the illicit drug supply has become increasingly unpredictable. Sanguine Health Center's drug checking program has found fentanyl mixed with unexpected substances.
We are seeing an increase in medetomidine, which is a veterinary tranquilizer. And so that's very concerning. And it is really making the current supply even more toxic and more risky.
The tranquilizer causes heavy sedation, slows breathing, and lowers blood pressure, but does not respond to naloxone.
Still give them naloxone because there could be other things in the supply, like opioids, which would help reduce the reactions.
Kitchener continues to have the highest rate of opioid-related paramedic calls, but despite the spike in emergency calls,
the suspected drug-related deaths are not increasing in the same way that paramedic service calls are.
Public health suggests wider access to naloxone may be helping save lives. And while the closure of Kitchener's CTS site was a blow, Sanguine Health Centre secured funding to continue use of its drug checking device, along with an exemption to allow its use with their mobile unit. But advocates say the problem extends beyond the drug supply.
We have this convergence of the toxic drug crisis along with the affordability and housing crisis.
Sanguine staff say the numbers only capture what paramedics respond to. They don't include the overdoses managed behind closed doors, meaning the true scale of the crisis could be even greater than the data suggests. Spencer Turcott, CTV News Kitchener.
It is the calm after the storm today. We saw quite wicked weather roll through southwestern Ontario overnight last night. Let's head over to CTV's Ashley Bacon live in studio with a closer look at what's in store to come, because it was much calmer out there today. Ash, saw some lightning, thunder, a little bit of everything last night.
We got actually pretty clear compared to areas all around us, Leanne.
Totally.
We were under that watch for most of the day yesterday, but it never really came into fruition here in Waterloo Region. But as you said, there was a bit of wild weather everywhere. The good news is things are stabilizing, but they're also heating up. As we take a look at our satellite, you can see not a lot happening right where we are. There's south of us, north of us, a bit of activity, but we are not seeing very much in Waterloo Region at this stage. We're going to continue to see clear skies for the most part over the next few days. Right now, it's 21 degrees, a west by northwest wind at 13 kilometers an hour, so nice and comfortable out there. And as we take a look at southern Ontario, we are seeing temperatures right around the high teens, early 20s throughout the region. But as I said, things are looking to really heat up come the end of the weekend, Leanne, and we could potentially see our first heat event of the summer come Monday.
All right, Ash, thanks for that. We will talk soon. While it may not have been here in Waterloo Region, a tornado did tear through southwestern Ontario last night. No injuries were reported, but the EF0 twister caused destruction and residents had to take cover. Here's CTV's Brian Bicknell.
A violent storm cuts through the countryside southwest of Glencoe. It's picking up debris and producing intense hail. Glencoe resident Matt Squires was coming home from work when he took this video.
Just debris flying and spinning in the field and on the road, and then it just exploded. The whole property just took off. Stuff flying everywhere, trees falling, and then I noticed the barn got eaten up pretty quick.
At the Gould family home, they're cleaning up.
A lot of tree damage, some vehicle damage, barns damaged.
They were home when the storm cut through around supper time Thursday.
I went down to the basement, and within like 30 seconds, Eddie and our son and our dog came downstairs, and then it was just like a freight train. Like, it got really, really loud, and just you could hear things like banging and clanging.
The Western University-based Northern Tornadoes Project says preliminary findings indicate an EF0 tornado touched down, the weakest level, but with speeds between 90 and 130 kilometers per hour.
Even that amount of wind speed is enough to snap and uproot full-grown trees. It's enough to, take out large sections of barns, especially if they're older barns. Not in this case, as far as we know, thankfully, but in other cases, like, EF0s can cause injuries and loss of life.
The tornado cut a path through several rural properties out here near Glencoe, the one saving grace being that it is wide open and sparsely populated. There were no reported injuries. On this lot, where families camped for the summer, 2 trailers were knocked over and a pickup truck destroyed. A Johnny on the spot has disappeared, its whereabouts unknown, and 3 chickens were lost in a small poultry operation. Stratford resident Kylie McGregor and her son Maverick were supposed to move in this weekend.
Honestly, I laughed. I laughed. Yeah, I was not expecting this at all, so it's one of those things where if you don't laugh, you cry, so I laughed.
I'm blown away by the destruction and just thankful nobody was here.
In the meantime, a team continues to survey the area to determine just how large the tornado was and how widespread the damage. Brian Bicknell, CTV News, Southwest Middlesex.
A Catholic high school in Brantford, currently under construction, will be getting a new name. Earlier this week, trustees voted to scrap the name St. Padre Pio Catholic Secondary School, saying it was detracting from the community's excitement around the project. This is the school at the center of a controversial trip to Italy taken by trustees. CTV's Krista Simpson is here tonight with more on this. Krista.
Leanne, 4 trustees went on that trip to commission thousands of dollars in religious art. The lavish nature of the travel and the expenses soon came under intense scrutiny. And now the school that was supposed to receive most of those sculptures is going to have a new name. Under construction and coming soon. But when it opens, this building won't be St. Padre Pio Catholic Secondary School, as the sign currently states. Earlier this week, trustees with the Brant, Haldimand and Norfolk Catholic District School Board voted to set aside the name that was selected in 2023. In a statement, Board of Trustees Chair Carol Luciani says the decision was made after feedback from parents, staff and community members, and trustees recognized that ongoing discussion surrounding the school's current name had, for some, detracted from the excitement and anticipation associated with opening a new Catholic secondary school. This was the school at the center of a controversial trip to Italy taken by 4 trustees nearly 2 years ago. The trip itself cost more than $45,000, and trustees ordered thousands of dollars in religious art. A subsequent review of the incident, ordered by the province, revealed more than $63,000 was spent in legal fees to manage the fallout in the subsequent months. The review totaled the costs around the art buying trip at approximately $190,000. Among the pieces of art trustees commissioned, a statue of St. Padre Pio.
The chair of the board says the process to find a new name for the school will start in September.
The board chair says students, staff, parish representatives, and community members will all be a part of the new naming process, saying trustees are committed to engaging the community in selecting a name that reflects the Catholic identity of Brantford's newest Catholic secondary school and inspires pride among future students and families. We are confident that this process will help strengthen the connection between the school and its community while building excitement for its opening. The school is currently scheduled to open in September 2027. The school board did not respond to CTV's questions about the estimated cost associated with selecting a new name or if there's a plan for the St. Padre Pio statue in a school that will no longer bear his name. Once selected, the new name will still have to be approved by the Diocese of Hamilton and the Ministry of Education. Leanne.
Okay, Krista, thank you for that. CTV's Krista Simpson. If you've watched any sports on TV or scrolled your phone lately, you've probably been inundated with ads for online gambling sites. Well, now the provincial minister tasked with overseeing gambling is considering new restrictions on how those sites can market to people looking to test their luck. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more.
The potential for greatness.
They've become inescapable. Scrolling on your phone or settling in front of the TV.
Every time you open up sports, it hits you in the face.
There's way too many of them on TV right now.
Every couple ads, every second ad, it's a gambling.
It's something Ontario's minister responsible for gaming has noticed too. With more and more gambling happening online, the way we talk about it has changed.
If we're not paying attention to the data and how that language is being spoken, the volume it's being spoken in, and the frequency in which it's reaching problem gamblers, then we could have a problem on our hands.
Cho is considering new restrictions on ads for online gaming. He's consulting with experts.
We're worried about whether we are basically just creating a generation of gambling addicts.
Ads spiked in 2022, right after Ontario opened the door to private betting. Then came skyrocketing calls to the province's mental health and addictions helpline. Among boys and men 15 to 24, researchers noted a 317% increase. For men aged 25 to 44, that jump was 108%. Experts say teenagers are most susceptible to gambling addiction. Sports betting now packing dozens of opportunities into a single game isn't helping.
It makes the gambling more like a slot machine.
An instant mini thrill, no trip to the casino required.
Trying to practice here, Wayne.
A few years ago, the province banned celebrities and athletes who'd appeal to youth from gambling ads, unless they're talking about safer practices. Ontarians who ban themselves from brick and mortar casinos can also block their access to online gaming through a tool called BetGuard. Critics say it's not enough.
They prey on young people. They prey on, frankly, kids. They prey on people who are having a tough time.
Ontario Liberals tried and failed to shut down ads for online gaming entirely.
We're in a public health crisis. The first thing we can do is to actually reduce the advertising.
Cho is looking at the United Kingdom. No gambling ads from 5 minutes before a sports match until 5 minutes after the last whistle. Nigel Turner is a fan. He'd like more honesty from ads, too.
This is about having fun with your money, not about making money. And I feel there's too much of a focus on how much you're going to win.
Cho wants some time to get this right, but promises an update soon.
I've gone through this with family in terms of problem gambling online, and I know that days matter on this.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
The Ford government is overhauling the rules around the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. The program lets the province nominate qualified foreign workers, international students, or other individuals for permanent residence, with the federal government having final say. The Ministry of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development says it's redesigning the policy to better address critical workforce shortages in key sectors of the economy. That'll include the launch of a new application stream prioritizing eligible workers with job offers from Ontario employees, among other requirements. Prime Minister Mark Carney is launching a national design and build competition to modernize 24 Sussex Drive, nearly 11 years after the last Prime Minister called it home. Carney says the goal is to build an accessible and sustainable official residence. CTV's Abigail Beeman now with more on the state of the historic address.
This home is just 1 year younger than Canada. The Prime Minister describes it now as barely held together.
A rare look inside the official residence of the Prime Minister that ended up full of dead rodents, asbestos and mold.
We will not let it crumble. We will set it right.
The Prime Minister announced a competition for Canadian firms to present design and construction plans, with famous Canadian architect Moshe Safdie chairing a jury to assess them.
It's an extraordinary site with extraordinary potential. I think something wonderful can be developed here.
The government believes the cost will be under $50 million and will fundraise most or all of that, promising rules to avoid conflicts.
Individuals and philanthropic organizations, no corporate donations. The list of donors will be public. There will be a limit.
Former occupants Jean Chrétien and Stephen Harper will offer advice. In a statement, Harper told CTV News he's pleased the decision was taken to preserve the property.
Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, who, when they were renegotiating the Constitution to patriate it in 1982, he was in Sussex Drive when Jean Chrétien was making the phone calls back to him to say, is this the deal we want?
Author JDM Stewart says the building is critical to Canadian history.
It is a place where all of our prime ministers since 1951 have made a lot of the decisions and done a lot of the work and greeted heads of government and heads of state from around the world.
When I see the homelessness on our streets and I see the young people who are desperate to start families but can't get a house to do it, I just think the last thing on our mind should be 24 Sussex Drive.
The winning design will be announced on Canada Day next year, 2027. No word on how soon a future Prime Minister could move in. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
It's a night that aspiring professional hockey players dream of. In less than an hour, the 2026 NHL Draft kicks off just south of the border in Buffalo. With many prospects coming from the Ontario Hockey League, the lives of some local athletes could change forever. CTV's Karis Mapp has been keeping track of the top players from our area who could hear their names called. Karis.
Leanne, the name that keeps coming up is Caleb Malhotra from the Brantford Bulldogs. He's predicted to be drafted in the top 10, but some players with the Guelph Storm are also keeping their fingers crossed that this draft could be the beginning of their next chapter. The NHL Draft, a night when teams are looking to round out their rosters and young players hope to be the missing pieces.
It'd just be an honor to be selected by any team in the draft.
Some athletes and staff from the Brantford Bulldogs making the trip to Buffalo for the big night.
A very special day for our organization. Be the second year in a row that we are hopefully going to have a top 10 NHL pick, and third year in a row a first-round NHL draft pick in the Bulldogs. So we're just so incredibly proud of Caleb.
Caleb Malhotra has been recognized as one of the best centers in this year's draft class, finishing the OHL regular season with 84 points.
Whatever club ends up drafting Caleb is going to be getting an unbelievable person first and an unbelievable hockey player as well. But we're so proud of him.
Despite only recently acquiring Ryan Robrick from the Niagara Ice Dogs, Guelph Storm officials say they hope the winger gets to hear his name called.
He has the entire package. He's got a bright future ahead of him. We're so excited that we have a chance to see him for a full season here with the special opportunity that we have ahead.
And while some players won't be attending the draft in person, they're still hoping to hear their names called, including Guelph goalie Zachary Jovanovski, who plans to watch the draft from his Windsor home.
Only a few kids really get to be in this position, right? To be have the chance of getting selected in the NHL. So it's very special, even if you don't get picked up. It's just kind of the feeling of accomplishment just to be in the position I'm in.
And he's not the only one. Ontario Hockey League athletes historically make up a significant percent of top draft prospects. This year is no different.
There's 76 OHL players on NHL Central Scouting's final rankings, which is actually the most in the last 17 years. 10 of those names are inside the top 32, indicating a potential first-round pick. So there's a lot of pride in seeing young men from across our league go into this weekend with high hopes and dreams, and to see those things fulfilled. It's a real highlight of the whole season.
If athletes hear their names called tonight, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll see them lacing up their skates for the NHL action just yet. Their draft team gets the final say about whether they're ready for the next level yet or still need some time to develop their skills. Leanne.
Exciting stuff nonetheless. Karis, thanks so much. CTV's Karis Mapp. And Stella Head on CTV News, pushback against a proposal. Why a group of residents are raising concerns over plans to redevelop the Krug Center Plaza. CTV's Alexandra Hollick brings us that story next.
A comfortable night ahead, but the heat is on the way. Just how hot is it going to get for your weekend and into next week? Those details with your full forecast coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Pushback against a proposal for a new housing complex in Kitchener's Rosemount neighborhood. A group of residents are raising concerns over plans to redevelop the Krug Center Plaza, saying they're worried about traffic, privacy, and businesses having nowhere to go. CTV's Alexandra Hollick has the details.
Yellow ribbons line streets near the Krug Center Plaza in Kitchener, each knot tying back to a community concerned about a looming development.
This plaza has been around since the 60s, and the developer has decided they want to convert it into 4 buildings.
The developer and property owner is Frewer Homes, whose headquarters are housed right here in the plaza. The plan is to turn it into a housing complex, a parking structure, and 4 6-story buildings with more than 230 rental apartments.
80% of them will be 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom units. We tend to cater to families, and we intend to cater to people, who actually want to live in these apartments.
But it's the people living around the proposed apartments who say they have a problem.
This is where some of our most happiest moments are. We don't want that to go away. I love this place. I feel like I need it in my life.
We're just concerned about the impact it's going to have in our neighborhood because we don't really think that the current plans really fit with the vibe of this neighborhood.
That vibe described as quiet, zoned for buildings no taller than 4 stories. But residents worry the new build will bring more traffic, less privacy, and raise the number of residential vacancies.
We would hate to see an empty building here.
And they wonder what will happen to the local businesses.
They are including space in the build for businesses, but we don't know what that's going to look like at the end of the day as far as what businesses will be staying, what businesses will be coming. We don't know what that looks like.
The yellow ribbons, a sign of protest, partnered with a petition pushing back against the project.
Pay attention and let's give your voice so that we can at least say we did have some input into this.
Developer David Frewer says he hears the community's concerns.
We're going to do it in phases. We would see how it goes. We would make sure that these units are designed to meet the market.
It's not that we don't want change, it's that we want to be part of it and participate in it so that it's ours to enjoy as well.
Please listen to our concerns and hopefully we can come to a compromise where we can all be happy.
Frewer says there are still several hurdles the project must pass before shovels get in the ground. In the meantime, he says he plans to hold more public meetings and consultations to find common ground with the community. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
Sunday is PTSD Awareness Day, and while much progress has been made in the treatment of PTSD for Canada's first responders, a recent symposium examined areas where more must be done. Here's CTV's Pauline Chan.
When you're a police officer, you're the one that's called for help. You're not the one that needs help.
Teresa is a 22-year police veteran from Manitoba.
I looked at the uniform and I wanted to be part of something important.
She loves her job, but in her desire to excel in caring for others, her own health deteriorated.
You forget your family, you forget your kids. In fact, it's like you almost want to avoid it.
A couple of years ago, she left work and sought help, but it wasn't easy.
I hate it here, I don't want to be here. So that was the first thing I noticed, right? So, but then as I got here and I met other people that have basically fought the same battle as me, what I like to think of it is we're all on the same boat fighting different pirates.
A recent symposium in Kelowna, hosted by Diversified Rehab, looked at the latest in PTSD treatments for first responders.
Aside from mental health stigma, aside from not reaching out, we are still operating in silos. And the symposium is a classic example how those silos could be taken apart in literally minutes.
One of the feedback pieces that they received was that leaders need training. How do you lead others? How do we take care of our people around us and build those relationships where trust is the foundation?
In September, we're going to be launching first workshop for leaders to come join us so they can gain the right skills.
RCMP Sergeant Rob Ferrer is the new leader of the National Police Federation and says the need is urgent.
The suicide rates have not diminished, and that is where really, like, that's the one, to me, the biggest and most glaring red flag that we need to change.
Teresa says she came into the treatment program with a lot of anger, but its special focus on the needs of first responders helped.
We were able to relate immediately with the sensations, with the emotions, with the loneliness, with the anger. That was like a big one.
When you talk about mental health, different individuals will react positively to different type of support, and that's why we have this array of services that are available to them.
Teresa's main message is for others to know they're not alone. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Live look outside over Waterloo Region this hour, looking towards uptown Waterloo. A little bit of cloud cover, but the sun is trying to shine out there as we approach the 6:30 mark on Friday evening. Great night to get outside and enjoy. Ashley is back with the full forecast to tell us what's in store for the weekend and the possible first heat event of the year that's on its way. Also ahead, college cutbacks, how Fanshawe is navigating changes amid significant staffing reductions and its shift in focus for students.
I'm Heather Centerin in downtown Kitchener for Cruising on King. If you're looking for an excuse to shift into high gear, head down to King Street for classic cars and live music. That story is just ahead.
All right, Ash is back with a look at the full forecast. I know many people looking forward to a weekend ahead.
Yes.
One of the first of summer. Which
you know what? Mother Nature came in with a very nice entrance to summer, cooler-ish days. But let me tell you, Leanne, that's all about to change. It's going to be hot this weekend, and next week is looking like it's going to be even hotter.
Yeah, you know what? It's music to my ears. I love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. That's for sure. It is going to be a doozy out there. So if you aren't a fan of the heat, get yourself prepared and make sure you have some water on hand.
Yeah,
it's
water
gonna be
on hand. And
definitely a bit toasty for the next week or so.
Sunscreen, places to find shade and places to cool off as well.
You got it. Sun safe is important. Let's take a look outside. That is down at Cruising on King, and we'll catch up with Heather Centerin shortly, who's down there for us tonight. What a beautiful evening to be out there. Not too hot, and as you can see, the sky above a little bit of overcast, so it's keeping that heat slightly at bay this afternoon, and will continue to do so for the next few hours. The good news is, though, we're not expecting any precipitation over the next few days. Of course, when it gets really hot, you never know, and a spotty shower might show up, but overall conditions are looking pretty clear for the weekend. As we take a look at our futurecast, we're seeing overcast as we just saw in that live shot right now. Now that's going to continue to push through the overnight hours, and then Saturday shaping up to be pretty clear. We might get a cloud here or there, but overall pretty nice conditions. Sunday, much the same, could be even sunnier come Sunday. And as I said, those temperatures are rising. As we take a look across the country right now, a cooler day on the west coast, 14 with a bit of rain in Vancouver. On the other side of the Rockies, 24 in Edmonton, 28 in Fort McMurray. So a bit warmer up north there. Yellowknife also seeing a 28-degree day at this moment, 24 in Saskatoon and Regina, 26 in Winnipeg, rather. As we push towards our nation's capital, 23 in Ottawa, 21 in Montreal, in Thunder Bay 23 as well. So a nice warm day in Northern Ontario there. Over on the East Coast, not too bad, but a little bit wet in Fredericton and Charlottetown. We are seeing the sun try to pop through, at least in St. John's. Here in Waterloo Region, 21 degrees. Around pretty much around that 21-degree temperature for most areas. London a little bit under at 19, but definitely comfortable. Now tonight, temperatures dipping down to 14 degrees, so it will still be pretty comfortable to sleep. This is where things are going to start to change, though. 26 is our expected daytime high. Could feel closer to 30 tomorrow. As we take a look at our almanac, as a reminder, 25 is our normal for this time of year. The record set back in 1941 at 35. We aren't going to reach record-breaking numbers in the next day or so, but come next week, we'll have to keep an eye on it because we could very well break those records. As we take a look at that 7-day forecast starting in our region, beautiful weekend ahead. 26 degrees is the expected daytime high for your Saturday and Sunday, and then things really start to get hot. 28 on Monday, but it's the overnights. 21, 22, and 21. So things aren't going to cool off through the week overnight as they would normally, and then 32 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Canada Day shaping up to be a real steamer. In Lambton, Kent, Essex, similar conditions expected. 24 tomorrow, 27 on Sunday, and then the mid to high 30s from Monday onward. So again, keeping an eye on Environment Canada as well as CTV News Kitchener.ca over the weekend to make sure we are under any alerts. In southern Georgian Bay, also seeing higher temperatures after Sunday. 26 on Sunday, 29 on Monday, 31 for both Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Leanne. So it is going to be a bit toasty out there over the next few days. So if you're not a fan of the heat or if you don't have air conditioning at home, make some preparations while you can. Okay, take a look at today's Weather Watcher video sent in from Scott, who shot this on board the Pelee Islander on its way to Pelee Island. He says he thought they were seagulls, but then they were too big, and sure enough, he believes they are American white pelicans.
Ah, how cool.
Very
I also
cool.
thought they were seagulls at the beginning there.
I've only ever seen a pelican while I lived in Australia, and they do look similar but different, and as soon as you get up close, you can tell it's definitely not a seagull.
Yeah, what a cool find,
Very
too.
Cool. Thank you for sharing, Scott.
Love the
capturing that video.
Weather Watcher video. I love it.
Change of pace. We get so many amazing pictures every day, so thank you everyone who continues to send us your pictures, but also if you got some cool videos, we'll take them as well.
Yeah, we certainly will. Ash, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Downtown Kitchener is bustling with action as a summertime staple rolls back into town. Cruising on King returns with vintage vehicles lining over a half kilometer stretch, rather. That is where we find CTV's Heather Centerin live on King Street tonight. Heather, this is always such a fun one. The event there kicking off about an hour ago.
And we'll keep going on for a couple more hours, Leanne. There is live music, live entertainment, food and drinks, and of course, classic cars. Right now, Tina Turner tribute show is on, and everyone is on their feet. There's lots of dancing, a lot of excitement. In about an hour, there will be a Neil Diamond tribute show hitting the stage, and it's called Cruising on King because it takes place on King Street, which is shut down for the big event from Water to Frederick Streets. There's over 100 cars here today from across Ontario. We've seen a little bit of everything here, sure to get any car enthusiast excited, from classic muscle cars from the 60s to sleek European sports cars from the 70s. Cruising on King really has it all, an annual summer tradition here in Kitchener for more than 30 years. Organizers say last year about 20,000 people came through.
A lot of these car folks love to tour around, and it's actually really kind of neat. They love to share their cars with people, and they're out here talking with people, enjoying their cars. People like talking and asking questions. They love answering the questions, and I think that's part of the magic of this event, just the interaction between the car owner and our residents, and just having fun with it.
The event goes until 9:30 tonight, and it is free to attend. A very family-friendly experience, and it seems to be the perfect summer day for it. Leanne.
Yeah, you got it, Heather. Looks like a fun time down there. CTV's Heather Centerin live in downtown Kitchener. Still ahead, Marilyn Dennis signs off for the final time. After an amazing 40-year career, the legendary radio host reflects and bids farewell. Her impact next. Fanshawe College in London faces a school year clouded with uncertainty and significant staffing reductions. The college's president says the changes have put the college on a path to a balanced budget and a new focus on skills-based learning. CTV's Jerry Dewan reports.
Last week saw Fanshawe College graduate 13,000 students, with 6,000 taking part in convocation ceremonies at Canada Life Place. While those students will embark on a new phase in their life, Fanshawe College President Peter Devlin says the college itself is also entering a new phase.
Next year, we'll have a balanced budget. Next year, we're adding more programs.
$11 million in cost savings needed to be found to balance next year's budget, requiring some difficult decisions.
We're just about to close in on the final full-time reduction in our staff. Total of 500 across the 3 employee groups: administrators, faculty, and support staff.
There are still 60 positions to be cut over those 3 employee groups. In a letter to employees closing the academic year, Devlin said unions will be notified where the cuts will be made in mid-August. Affected employees will be informed in mid-September, and the layoff process will be concluded by the end of December.
Any student that's in a program will see that program all the way through.
The 24 publicly funded colleges across Ontario saw a dramatic increase in the number of international students in recent years. But when immigration numbers and study permits were cut by the federal government, it created a sudden drop in enrollment. That has resulted in Fanshawe going from a peak of 24,000 students to 16,500 students this fall. Devlin says he has no regrets about the college's approach to international students.
None. No regrets. We welcomed international students who came and paid for a qualification, a credential that launched them into a career field that was needed.
And Devlin says he sees new opportunities when it comes to labor market demand.
If you look at Canada Strong, if you look at Protect Ontario and the level of ambition from our federal and provincial government, every single road to that success crosses through colleges and polytechnics, and Fanshawe College is there.
Devlin says he continues to work with community partners to identify where there are labor force needs. Devlin points to a partnership with the London Humane Society in their new headquarters as an example of how the college is getting more creative when it comes to skills training.
The classrooms for our vet tech and vet assisting programs aren't here. They're at the Humane Society. And it's just a magnificent example of how student learning comes to life in a vibrant, different way.
Devlin says of the 13,000 graduates this spring, 90% have found work. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
The CN Tower is celebrating its 50th birthday today. The iconic landmark opened on June 26, 1976. At the time, it was the world's tallest self-supporting structure at just over 553 meters. A 50th birthday party was being held on the patio at the base of the tower this afternoon. It featured games, music, and a giveaway of 553 cupcakes, one for each meter of the tower. Tonight, there will be a light show to celebrate the occasion. The annual Capeland Rolls still ahead on CTV News. Small fish with a big influence. Why people are flocking to the beaches across Newfoundland. It's officially the end of an era for an icon in Canadian radio. 40 years to the day since she first signed with Chum 104.5 FM, Marilyn Dennis signed off for the final time. CTV's Michelle Dubé reports.
Well, it's time for me to say goodbye. Straight from the heart. It has been a privilege to do this morning show for the last 40 years. I can't say that enough.
And through a few tears.
And to you, the Chum listening family. From the kids who fell asleep with the transistor radio under the pillow, To everyone who has us on in the car, the kitchen, or streaming on their phones right now, you have always been the heartbeat of this station.
Marilyn Dennis closed the Chum chapter of her extraordinary career.
Thank you all for, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry some more.
Bidding farewell to the station that launched her legacy.
Roger, Rick, and Marilyn on 104.5 Chum FM.
Radio was just the beginning for Marilyn Dennis, who won over listeners, then viewers, becoming a familiar face on television.
City Line, the interaction continues.
City Line, and later,
Marilyn Dennis.
The Marilyn Dennis Show, solidifying her status as one of Canada's most recognizable broadcasters. But through all the adventures, she never left radio.
She really was a trailblazer in as much as she influenced a lot of younger women, especially.
Former co-host Roger Ashby there for the goodbye today with other beloved colleagues.
I'm surprised my hair could fit into the picture. Yeah.
And family. Marilyn's son, Adam Wilde, followed in his mom's footsteps, becoming a radio personality himself.
She started here before I was born, so it's been a bit of a character in our family and in our lives, and I think that's going to be an adjustment come Monday.
Granddaughter Everly looking forward to even more time with Nana.
To have fun with her.
No more 3 a.m. wake-ups, no plans yet for what's next. Signing off for the last time with this.
When I was on my way to the interview at Chum FM at 1331 Yonge Street, what a big day that was, I was in the back of a cab, and this song came on the radio, and I remember thinking, I am never going to forget this song, where I was, how I felt. And the title of the song will say it all. Boy, I really do need this. This is Mike and the Mechanics. All I need is a miracle. And it's been just that. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for listening.
An incredible career, Ash. Someone you and I and many broadcasters look up to. Over to you.
Wow, 4 decades of fabulous entertainment. Marilyn, congratulations. It's been an honor. Tomorrow, going to be a beautiful start for your first day off. I'll have those details after this. Stay with us. Coming up on CTV tonight, E-Talk at 7, followed by The Big Bang Theory, then Spring Break Murders, Crime Scene Investigators at 9, and cap your night off with Boston Blue at 10.
KW's Bounce 99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Listen all summer for your chance to win. Turn the lights off, carry me home. With Bounce to your backyard.
Friday feeling over here in the newsroom.
Couple more minutes.
We got the giggles for you. Some of us will be here all night.
Yes.
And some of us will be here on the weekend too. Hopefully everyone's got some weekend plans working up, and it's going to be pretty nice.
It might be a great weekend to maybe check out some city splash pads and things of that nature, because it's going to start to feel really like summer starting tomorrow. We will start off into it easy though. 14 by 6 a.m., 20 by 10 a.m., Leanne, but things are only just going to get hotter from there. So as we talked about earlier, make sure to be sun safe if you're headed out this week and weekend, I should say. And then, of course, keep that water handy. You're going to need it.
I am so jealous of everyone that has a pool this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get an invite?
I have one for tomorrow.
Hey, lucky you. All right, you got your weekend plans set.
I do.
Okay, finally for us tonight, the Capeland are rolling across Newfoundland and Labrador. The annual spectacle draws hundreds to beaches in the province to watch thousands and thousands of the small feeder fish wash up onto the shores.
CTV's Garrett Barry taking us right into the action.
One of the wonders of the Newfoundland and Labrador world. Slick, shiny fish.
Slimy, slippery, squirmy.
Coming by the thousands.
Probably more Capeland here now than there has been for years and years, maybe 30 or 40 years.
They're throwing themselves onto beaches all over the province. The annual spectacle we call the Capeland Roll.
It's actually very fun. I picked up one when it was alive. It was like jiggling around like crazy.
It's all for the miracle of life. Here, these fish mate and lay their eggs deep into the beach.
It is perhaps nature's biggest sacrifice. This little guy and the thousands more on this beach obviously aren't surviving this spawning ritual.
But a boon for us on shore. It may never be easier to catch a fish.
I used to come out and just fish for, put the dip net in and catch them.
When it's rolling in a bit, time your flick, your casting, and you got to watch out for the high waves coming.
Some people eat them.
Everyone out home likes some pickle.
But people who don't have a lot of cable now is giving these to them.
But many more are here just to take a look, or looking for artistic inspiration.
You can really connect with people just like through photography, which is really nice.
You might even see the changing face of this province. Newcomers and international students also flocking to the beach for this natural magic.
It's incredible. I've never seen this kind of event before.
A lot of people coming here, someone catching, someone watch, someone. It's funny.
And if you've missed it, don't worry, it happens every year. Our unofficial start to a short but sweet summer. Garrett Berry, CTV News in Middle Cove, Newfoundland and Labrador.
Good old Newfoundland tradition.
There you go. You don't have to go far for a feed.
Gotta love it. I know we've got a lot of Newfies living in Cambridge, so hopefully you enjoyed that story. It's a good one to see.
Absolutely. You know who would love it? Is this little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave you with these sights and sounds here. Weekend plans?
You know, as you said, Leanne, I think I'm going to be poolside for at least a couple of days.
Gotta love it. I'm gonna get outside too. Hopefully get some walks in, maybe a run or something along that nature, but pretty low key on my end, which I'm actually here for. Like, it's been so busy. It's nice to have a little bit of downtime.
It is, absolutely. And as summer, you know, continues, I don't know about you, but weekends get busy quick.
Weekends get busy quick. Yep. I've got a little bit of time off coming up, so I know that will be taken up by busy things. Hopefully you'll all have a good weekend. Take care. We're back at 11:30. See you then.